I know there's been a time in your life that, things wasn't always in place, but because you may have had some positive mentoring in your life, somebody that you looked up to that helped to lay a foundation, on how you should do things or what your thought process should be like. And although they may have had that blueprint for you, that doesn't mean we always followed that blueprint. Sometimes we went off the meter a little bit because we had to personalize it, with what God poured into us. And sometimes some of those experiences may not have been necessarily good, but in the end, it was all good. Some of those bad experiences translated into experience, period, that was able to strengthen us or was able to help us to identify with something that we would not have been able to relate to had we not had that experience. So that's the platform of the Trulogy. The Trulogy is, I'm a woman that really loves God. And I truly believe that when we speak well of God and when we talk to others about what we've been through in our testimonies, that there's certain things in our testimony that could inspire somebody who want to keep their mouth shut, somebody who want to end their life, somebody who feels like, I just can't do this. Like, I'm not built like that, or I don't know how to do this, or I've always been told that I'm not capable. But to hear a testimony from somebody who someone deemed not able to be able, or regardless of what you've been through in your life, you're still at this point now, you're at a better place. That's what the Trulogy is all about, being able to share those lags, those challenges, and all of those things that could have hindered us from getting to our purpose. We still may not all the way be there. All of us are a piece of work, but we're in a better place, and if we're not, what's stopping us from being in a better place? So that's what the Trulogy is all about. So today, I went live when I first got here, and I was inspired to talk about roadblocks. Roadblocks in our minds, when we first think about it, we don't think of it as something positive, but roadblocks can be definitely something positive because it could be that thing that keeps us from getting to a place that God didn't want us to be. Right? How many times you traveled down a street and then you had to take a different route only to find out that there was an accident, You could have been that person in that accident. Sometimes that roadblock is just to strengthen you, for you to think and open up your mind to not just doing things so simple, right? And in thinking and finding an alternate way to do something, it gives you more strength. It gives you more leverage and more experience. And roadblocks can also be protection, protection, keeping us on that path, helping us to remain humble. Humility is a very essential ingredient in life. And so many people lack humility. We arrive and then we forget, And so the Trulogy is to inspire that we don't ever forget, that we always remember that it was not ourselves. That's why I hate, I'm going to use positive word here, more positive word. I do not like or agree with self-made. People wear that self-made. They say, I'm self-made. We're not self-made. God created us. And because of those experiences, we have our own blueprint because we make choices. That's our free will to make choices, right? We're not forced to make any choices. And I think that's where that self-made came from. But because we were able to choose, we've developed this entire outlook on us. And sometimes who we become, we had a lot to do with that, but not ultimately. So let's talk about roadblocks and some things that may have prohibited you or delayed you from getting where you are currently. Let's talk about who you are first, and if you could spell your first and last name, so we could get the spelling right whenever we edit the video. That would be great.
So my name is Chenese Lewis. Chenese is spelled Chenese. Last name Lewis, Lewis.
I would have totally gotten that right.
I know.
And I'm Malika Chenese, and it's a pleasure to meet you. You have a beautiful smile.
Oh, thank you.
Let's talk about roadblocks. Let's talk about, some people may know Chenese now, but let's talk about Chenese then. I know I was a hot mess, right? I had to get to where I am now. I'm still hot mess, but I'm a work in progress. I can at least identify now. So let's talk about that.
So I'm originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, born and raised. However, I decided to pursue a career in entertainment. So in 2004, I moved to Los Angeles. And in Los Angeles, I pursued being an actress and a plus size model. And so I lived in Los Angeles for 10 years. And I was able to do some amazing things like be on a hit show on BET, music videos like Mariah Carey. I started pursuing hosting. I went to hosting school to be a professional television host and was doing a lot of amazing things. But then that all got halted because my dad got sick here in Baton Rouge. And so I'm the only child. And so my mom said, you got to come back home and help me take care of your father because, I can't do it by myself. It's wearing me out.
Wow.
So, I was on an upward path to success, but then I just had to stop abruptly because family comes first. So I had to move back to Baton Rouge in 2014. And so I thought, my career in entertainment is over because, Los Angeles or New York is where all the action is.
Right.
And there's some stuff happening in New Orleans. I just wasn't in that loop because I had been away. And so I moved back home 2014, taking care of my father. And then July 2014, I got sick and ended up on life support.
My God.
So I ended up having sepsis that turned into septic shock. So I was on the ventilator.
Oh my God.
And so, clearly I survived. But, sometimes my mom was like, well, it must have been meant for you to move home so you could be here with your family to take care of you because maybe I would have got sick in Los Angeles and would have been alone with no family. And so I don't know, everything happens for a reason. So I survived that. And then when I got sick, that picked my daddy up, put some pep in his step. And my daddy, is doing good too now. So I was able to overcome, number one, halting my career and having a pivot. I was pivoting before the pandemic. That was a big word people was using in 2020, but I had to pivot in 2014, moving back to Baton Rouge. And then, trying to come back and being a caretaker, and then ended up on life support myself. And then trying to recover and still trying to remain relevant while I'm in this small town.
Wow.
So thankfully, through the power of the internet, I necessarily didn't have to be in Los Angeles anymore because the 10 years I stayed there, I was able to build my brand and I did good while I was in Los Angeles, networking and making connections and doing things and branding myself. So what I thought everything was over, it wasn't over. People were like, we want to fly you back to Los Angeles on us. We still want to work with you. We can do things virtually. So I had a major roadblock, but was able to overcome by just pivoting and just remaining positive, because I know anything that bad happens is just temporary. Right. I always know it's not permanent. So just remaining hopeful, you can always see that there's a light on the other side.
It's awesome. And you didn't allow that particular roadblock to stop you. So if there is something that you can tell a person that feels like the weight of the world is on them, outside of the cliche, those things that we say, like, you can do anything that you put your mind to. Let's tell them something really deep. Like, let them know, what is that one thing that when you felt that your life was spiraling in a different direction, what is that one thing that you dug really deep for that helped you to realize that it was okay?
I think when things get really bad, like, for instance, like when I got off of life support, I was kind of depressed because I didn't think my life was going to be the same, because I thought I was going to have some physical difficulties, because everybody doesn't recover 100%. But one of the things I did, I started planning and making a list of things that I wanted to do. Instead of moping, instead of just being sad, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to school. Mm-hmm. I'm going to plan to do this, and I'm going to do this. So I have something to look forward to, like I'm moving forward and not just stagnant in one place, being, sick and depressed. I, made a action. It takes action to get to the other side.
That's good. So basically, she kept it moving. And that is the one thing that we're going to pull out of this segment, that regardless of what you're doing, what you're going through in life, just keep it moving, sis. Keep it moving. So if you don't take anything else from this particular episode, remember to stick this in your bag. When things get tough, keep moving forward. Not backwards. Keep moving forward. I'm Malika Manina with the Trulogy. It's been a pleasure to have you.
And wait, follow me on social media. My name is Chenese Lewis on all platforms, and you can visit my website at CheneseLewis.com.
Thank you so much, Chenese.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you joined us today.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure as well. Likewise. All right, we're out.